Another post for you today. I was gonna walk around again, but I wrote it out so much because there's so much in there. So I'm gonna be glancing over at my notes. I almost wrote it out word for word, but I'm not gonna read it off. That's fake. But so for day, it's called trust, text versus calls, and examples. Trust but verify. Texting versus chats and calls. And interweaving in that are some example stories. Okay, so I'm having well, I'm having a conversation with a company that involves trust, but but verified concept. Okay, it's I gotta trust and verify because I just can't just trust some company that they're going to do what they say. There's got to be a contract. There's got to be, escrow funds and everything that keeps everything on the up and up, real. But they're not offering solutions. They just say accept our terms or nothing. Well, not accepting their terms, so we don't have a contract. And it's the same way for personal relationships. They ask for trust and understanding through texting, which I can't verify who they are. You know what understanding is? It means standing under. So I have to stand under them because all they can do is text. No, what I'm really talking about is innerstanding by everybody. And I understand that they don't value me because all they do is text. But they said to me earlier this morning, I'm going to go out and buy some food. I said, okay. So, well, I'll talk to you when I get back. Oh, a little while later, I responded, whatever you think is more important. I mean, you know, she gets up, gets ready, and then she's got to go out and do her shopping. Okay. But I don't know if I would say that to somebody. I wouldn't put it that way because I think they're important to me. We understand each other. We put time aside for each other. But no, her most important thing was going out for groceries. It's not so much that, it's just the way she talks. And here's the other thing is that, yeah, I'm so busy at work and I'm so stressed. And she's got 5 minutes in the morning to talk and 10 minutes at night. What? That's not anything. So the question is, do I want to keep talking to her? Is this a real conversation? Is this a real, you know, connection? And she just goes like, this is progressing. Like nothing's wrong. I've had that so many times, I can't even believe it. You get in an argument, and then whatever, 5 minutes later, 2 hours later, nothing's wrong. It's all like, oh, yeah, it's a different reality, whether you're in person or not. I just go, do you guys ever see that? I'm bringing this out so you realize something. Where's the real connection? And the problem is, I told her before, as I tell so many people, texting is not a real conversation. But it just goes right over their head. It's like the question is, should I keep up this charade or should I just end it? I'm trying to be compassionate. Saying maybe she's trying, maybe that's the best she knows how. But I don't know how many times I can say it to her over and over and over again. It's disrespect. And another thing, I just got off a call with my friend who told me all her problems. But when I repeated to her that she's stuck in her internal loop of trauma, she said, I can't talk about that anymore. I got to go. I'll call you later. See? Another example. And I wonder how many times that I do the same thing. Even trying after 40 years to be honest and confront my problems and let them go, blah, blah, blah. I hope I'm better because I can see it in other people. I realize that they are the most important person to themselves. That's fine. But we all don't know what we don't know. And so many other people can see us like we can't see ourselves. So if we just pay attention to what other people will be what? Brave enough to tell us, or us be brave enough to ask them, our lives will improve considerably. So if you have any kind of intention to improve, why don't we get together? You tell me your story, and I'll tell you something that you don't know about yourself. Because I've been doing this for 40 years. I don't know. I don't know. It's like, do you feel the same way, longing for conversation? How lonely are you? Do you have any real friends? Another example is from my story yesterday. At the end of the night, she says, I want to do this and that. I'm waiting for, you know, so I'm still waiting for her promises, but today it's completely different situation. Happens all the time. One more example is that uh, I just saw a video where they explained the King James Bible and why it came out. If you want to know and see that story, it's very revealing. I knew this years ago, and I left the church to keep my sanity because it was like, none of this is true. But here's the deal, it explained what's real, what's really real, what the actual Bible wanted to communicate. And I believed this for years. And that's why you hear me say things out of the Bible. Another question, do you really wonder or have thoughts about what's really going on about it? Do you? Well, we should sit down and talk about it. And you can send me a text, you can PM me, you can email me, just look up all my social media. My email is vsalzer@vincesalzer.com. I mean, how much simpler can it be? Okay, confession. Well, here we go. Are any of you out there real? If you knew that every action you took was recorded, would you act as the way you do? I mean, if you knew every single time somebody was watching, guess what? That's the definition of God, spirit, consciousness. It knows what you do. You can't hide from it. If you really knew that, would you act the same way as you do? No. The answer is no, 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 including me. Next question. Do you know that you are loved unconditionally? And do you realize that you can love yourself? That's what I'm trying to say. How would you act if you really, really knew that? Authenticity, honesty, and accountability wouldn't be a problem. Talking to somebody on the phone or on anything like that, or meeting or whatever, be no problem because there's nothing to hide. It's all revealed in one form or another. You get that revelation? You know, sometimes I think it's getting better, but I'm really sorry I sound harsh on my videos. I'm working on it. But here's what came to me. It comes from my anger, fear, shame, and guilt. And on top of that, and disappointment in myself for not being able to communicate what entity tells me to say. I'll do better when I listen gooder. This is my journey in finding my dream. It's my sincere hope that your journey, I don't know how to say it, that that you find your dream too. You get on the journey of finding your dream too. I guess the entity tells me to say, I'm here for you. I'll listen. And then I'll come hard down on you just like entity does. I don't know how many hours I sit here arguing about what am I going to say? How do I say it nicely? Blah, 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 blah. And after going through the trauma the past few days about all these people talking to me like that, it's really, really hard to keep going. I keep asking entity, why should I be doing this? The answer is just do what I tell you. As always, don't shoot the messenger. I'm not perfect. I am on the inside, but outside, I don't know. Got to get better. Got to get gooder. Thank you.